So I realized something yesterday. Somehow I got the math wrong, and I've been feeding the chickens about half as much as they should have every day. So since they're basically starving, they haven't been laying eggs as much. Almost at all, actually. We have almost 200 chickens, so I should be getting like 50 eggs a day in the wintertime. When I did the math yesterday, I realized that our chickens need about 40 pounds of feed every day, and I was giving them about 20 pounds. Kind of basic rule of math with chickens is chickens need a quarter pound of feed per day per chicken. Your 50 pounds of feed a day is, well, for our organic feed, is $25 a day. 25 bucks a day is a lot when you think about only getting 24 eggs a day, 2 dozen, and we're only selling them for $6, and we're eating one of those, so we're only making $6 a day on spending 25. I know I was being cheap and only trying to feed them, an eighth of a pound instead of a quarter of a pound a day, or actually less, because we're feeding them pumpkins and we're feeding them grass and those sorts of things. So I thought that counted more than what it seems to be counting for. We ferment the feed, and which means we add water to it, and that almost doubles the weight, and they digest it better and they eat it better. But I'm wondering if my calculations are wrong, if it isn't necessarily doubling the weight. People ask us all the time about chickens because we have a lot, and we've been raising chickens for a while, so they kind of just assume that we know everything about chickens. But I'm learning more and more that I don't know everything. That I have a lot more to learn, and I can stand to be a better chicken farmer than I am today. So with 200 chickens, in the summertime, we should probably get 100 to 150 eggs a day, give or take, 50. So in the wintertime, they're going through molt right now, which means they lose all their feathers. They're not laying when they do that. We still should be getting 50 a day. That would be, a chicken laying once every 4 days, which for the wintertime is understandable. I would bet that we could probably get 70 with 200 chickens a day. So I'm kind of at a loss. Is it just that I didn't feed them enough and they're starving, or is there something else going on? Because when we got these chickens, the last 100 that we got, they were laying like crazy for like 2 weeks, and then they've slowly dipped off. So one thing that changed is they're outside. The other thing that changed is potentially we're not feeding them as much as they were getting. But how do you feed them a whole bunch of feed every day and make money on selling the eggs? Like, is it worth it to have that many chickens? I don't know. I feel like I'm having a little bit of a crisis of faith here on the chickens, because I've been saying for a year that I wanted 1,000 chickens and sell the eggs. And I knew that it wasn't going to be super profitable, but I've always said that it brings people to the farm if they come and get eggs every week, which is great. But it's a lot of work, and sometimes it's a pain, and sometimes it's sad because we've had coyote issues the last month and we've lost 10, 15 chickens. we had a watering issue and lost a couple chickens the other day. So you work so hard and you pour your sweat and energy into this project with these live animals, these living beings, and when they just die or they're not producing, you feel like you're failing. And we at Barefoot Farmstead want our animals to thrive. We want our chickens to have their best chicken life. We don't want them just cooped up in a metal cage just to lay us eggs. Like, that's not the reason we have chickens. We have chickens so that they have joy on our farm and they bring us joy, and they also give us eggs. That's kind of part of the process. And when they're not laying eggs, I start to think, are they not happy? Are they not living and feeding like they should? And how can I help them be better? Am I being too cheap and stingy and not feeding them enough and starving them? Well, if I am, that's horrible of me. That's being a bad farmer. That's being a bad steward of the animals that God's given me. So I'm sort of at a loss this morning. I don't know what we should be doing. We've upped their feed, and so I guess in the next week or so we'll see if that helps. Well, if you have any advice on how much feed you feed your chickens, or how we can better be better farmers, chicken farmers, with actually getting eggs and letting these girls thrive, let us know, because right now what we're doing is not working. And I'm not sure if it's just seasonal. I don't think it is, because some of our other chickens are laying pretty good. But yeah, we would love to know. Love to know people's advice and their thoughts. So we've also had the thought that maybe they're so hungry they're eating their eggs, and I haven't seen a whole lot of evidence of that, except a few times when they'll lay an egg on the ground and it cracks. They'll eat it, but I usually see the shell left over. So if they were eating 50 eggs in a day, I think I would know. But maybe they are, and so maybe if you know what to do to stop them from doing that, we would love to hear your thoughts. We put golf balls in the nesting boxes, hoping that they'll peck on them and realize that they're really hard. They look like eggs, so maybe they'll not peck on their eggs. But yeah, if you have any advice, that would be awesome.